Against Rico Verhoeven.
I think, he's going to go out there and do whatever he wanted to do. I think Rico going to be tough at first, but I think Usyk with his experience, he's going to figure him out fairly early, and I don't know. We're going to see for a good fight.
Do you think there's a lot of pressure on Usyk? Because he's got a lot to lose against a guy who's never really boxed before.
He's used to the pressure. You got to understand, Usyk been having a lot of pressure on him since the Olympics, since winning the Olympics, since, going up to heavyweight and beating Fury, and all the things that he's been doing in the ring. So he's used to the pressure. It's no pressure for him.
Verhoeven is not as accomplished a boxer as Douglas or Rockmar. So do these odds suggest that Usyk is seen as more beatable than Tyson or Lewis?
It's a good question. It's funny, right? Even though Usyk's 39, I feel like he's at the top of his game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any slippage at all. I feel like and if you see the photos, it looks like Usyk put on a lot of muscle. I mean, this guy looks like a tank right now.
It's true.
Rico don't got a shot.
No shot.
Front, man. He ain't got no shot. It's ridiculous.
But what do you think? Is Usyk do you see Usyk as vulnerable?
Usyk, man, I feel like he's at his best right now.
What does he want to do in this fight? It's up to Usyk. Does he want to do it, and how fast does he want to do it? Does he want to do it when the bell rings or go after? Then he breaks the guy down. I think the over-under is 3.5, right? Something like that. Then he breaks the guy down. He's got a shot for the under. Otherwise, it's going to be over.
I think Usyk loses this fight in Egypt.
The long-awaited showdown between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven is now just hours away, and predictions are pouring in from every corner of the boxing and combat sports community. Two champions from completely different worlds are about to meet in one ring, and the buzz around this crossover clash keeps growing with every passing moment.
With his experience, I don't know. I never seen the guy fight, so I can't testify to, what he's capable of doing, but I know Usyk, and I know what level he's on, and I think he's up for it. He's going to put on an amazing show come Saturday night, and I just wish them both the best, and, hopefully both of them can leave the ring safely.
Boxing analyst Adam Smith envisions this fight being dictated entirely by Usyk's rhythm and pace. In his words, Usyk wins whenever he chooses to win, likely somewhere between rounds 5 and 7. Adding to that, veteran commentator Teddy Atlas leaves no room for doubt. He believes the massive gap in pure boxing IQ gives Usyk a decisive edge, insisting that Verhoeven's kickboxing success doesn't automatically translate to elite-level boxing.
But we're not gonna see an upset. Verhoeven is a legendary kickboxer, but he's had one pro boxing fight, and he won.
In 2014.
Against a handpicked guy. So he's 1-0, and he's not going to be 2-0.
Atlas does, however, acknowledge Verhoeven's athletic gifts and toughness, but he emphasizes a hard truth. High-level boxing is its own highly specialized science. From his perspective, Usyk operates in a realm of technique that makes this type of stylistic jump incredibly difficult for Verhoeven to endure.
He's a big, strong guy, Verhoeven. He's in good shape. He's physical. He's game. He's experienced in the kickboxing realm. You don't take anyone for granted, but he doesn't figure to have any chance against Usyk. And Usyk is a serious guy, so I can't imagine like we were thinking about when, Tyson was fighting with Jake Paul.
Anthony Cola calls this matchup one of the most unpredictable crossover events yet, even more surprising than Ganao versus Fury or Joshua. He expects Usyk to dictate the action effortlessly and end things around the halfway point. As he put it, it's a crazy fight, maybe crazier than Ganao Fury. Usyk will enjoy himself and probably wrap it up by midway. Meanwhile, Mike Coppinger notes that Usyk appears sharper than ever, showing no signs of slowing down, and even looking physically stronger heading into this bout.
Usyk's 39, I feel like he's at the top of his game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any slippage at all. I feel like and if you see the photos, it looks like Usyk put on a lot of muscle. I mean, this guy looks like a tank right now.
It's true.
Rico don't got a shot.
Still, Coppinger doesn't fully count Verhoeven out. He highlights the Dutch champion's long reign, calm mentality, and imposing frame. Factors he believes could translate better inside a boxing ring than many critics anticipate.
When you're a guy that's so accomplished and then you're fighting a guy that is only his second pro fight, and he's doing a bunch of punching from weird angles. So it could be a little embarrassing because it's not the same, it's not the basic boxing style. Yeah, so you could probably get hit with weird shots that are coming from all crazy angles, him stepping off. So it could probably present complications for Usyk.
Richie Woodhall predicts Usyk will pull away after a competitive start, warning that Verhoeven's early punching power should be respected. Woodhall stated, "Usyk he wins late, or he wins on points, but I lean toward a late stoppage. Rico will be dangerous early because he hits very hard, but Usyk will figure him out and break him down." At the same time, Tom Aspinall feels Verhoeven isn't getting the credit he deserves. While still favoring Usyk, he stresses that Rico's size and knockout force make this fight far from a guaranteed blowout.
What do you make of the fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven?
I mean, I think Rico's getting wrote off.
Did you come across him at Peter Fury's gym?
Listen, I've been training with Rico for the last 10 years, so I'm obviously pretty Rico biased. Rico's a good friend of mine, but he's a big man. He's had a lot of fights. Fair enough, they're fighting a different sport, but he can, like, if he hits him, it could be over. Do I think that Rico's a better boxer than Usyk? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that he's getting wrote off, and he's definitely got a chance of winning.
Chris Arreola takes a similar approach, noting Verhoeven's physical strength, but ultimately expecting Usyk to take command quickly. He predicts a stoppage once the technical gap becomes too obvious.
First of all, you can't teach size. You can't teach 6'5", 270. You can't teach that, all right? Second of all, whether it's kickboxing or boxing, he still has a pedigree of fighting. He knows what it's like to get hit. And those kicks ain't no joke. I'd rather get punched than kicked.
Right.
So he must have a good chin or good body work. So I'm looking forward just to see what Usyk could do against a lesser opponent. You probably should end up within 2 to 3.
Shane McGuigan strongly reinforces the core argument. Elite boxing and elite kickboxing are fundamentally different sports. He firmly believes Usyk's refined craftsmanship gives him a superior technical platform that is extremely difficult to crack.
Draw or lose, he's going to shock the world. I mean, everyone's written him off.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege to spend quite a bit of time with Rico. I've trained with Rico. I've been to watch him fight, ringside. He has got to be, hand on heart, the most frightening person on the planet. And even like top fighters say that, like Tom Aspinall wouldn't fight Rico in kickboxing. That's how scary a human being he is. For Tom Aspinall to say, I wouldn't fight Rico, and I could see it in his face, like genuinely meant it. I think Rico is the scariest man on the planet.
Former champion Sergio Mora foresees Usyk's movement overwhelming the bigger, more rigid Verhoeven. Usyk is too fluid for the stiff and heavy Verhoeven. "I've got Usyk by knockout in 9, he said. Boxing host Ade Oladipo adds that while Verhoeven's size and toughness would trouble most heavyweights, he's facing one of the greatest of this era. According to him, this goes as long as Usyk wants it to. He predicts a corner stoppage around round 5. On the other hand, Eddie Hall, having trained alongside Rico, warns people not to underestimate Verhoeven's rare combination of size and athletic output.
Tyson Fury, he's beat everybody. It don't get no more deserving for a fight like this tonight.
Not if you beat Fury. He doesn't think it is a give me at all. I can tell you that now. I'm fascinated to hear from him later on.
Do you know what, Anna? I think you're right, but and Peter's a really good coach. One of the most honourable men I've met in boxing and I've had the luxury of spending time with. But this is a fight where Oleksandr Usyk, when you look at them resumes and them records on that list, he is the one fighter who's defeated them all.
Yep.
And let's not...
Dave Allen backs this up with his sparring experiences, confirming that Verhoeven hits extremely hard and carries serious physical force. But he also emphasizes that raw strength alone cannot compensate for the massive experience gap at world-class boxing level.
I think it's a massive mountain to climb. I think whenever you are changing disciplines and you come in against the best in the division, it's always going to be a hard night's work. You're not just doing that against the best in the division, you're doing that against a pound-for-pound number 1. But in this division, as we saw with Ngannou against Fury, and the difference is these guys can really punch, and if they land clean, there's going to be a problem, and Verhoeven can really punch.
And meanwhile, promoter Eddie Hearn points to the enormous difficulty of switching combat sports at the peak level. He explains that stepping straight into a boxing ring against a pound-for-pound superstar like Usyk is one of the toughest transitions an athlete can attempt.
Would you have accepted someone from kickboxing fighting you for your world title while you were holding it, with him never having competed at that level?
Well, you've got to look at Oleksandr, what he's done. He's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you'll think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him, so he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This is now business for him. This is now because he's thinking, I've proved it all to you, so I've got to make as much as I can. Because remember, the talk was Deontay Wilder for a short while, because he wants to get all the scalps. He wants to look at the biggest names out there with the least amount of risk, and you can't blame him.
Johnny Nelson widens the lens, noting that Usyk has limited high-stakes opponents left within boxing. Because of that, crossover fights like these become attractive, both as business moves and as legacy-building opportunities.
See a world where this is a challenge for Usyk, or is it just a simple case of he does him when he wants to?
I think it should be relatively straightforward, but it's combat sport, it's boxing. At the end of the day, he's got two arms, he can punch, he's a banger in the kickboxing. He's heavy-handed apparently, and he's got a lot of power, and he's working with Peter Fury, so he will be a bit unorthodox, but I think as soon as Usyk gets to grips with it and eases into it, it should be relatively straightforward. I said last week on here, I'm not putting Dave Allen down. There's so many other factors that have got to go your way to have a chance in it, and just having two arms and being able to punch and being in the heavyweight division isn't one of them. But I just think, there's too much at stake for Usyk to take his eye off the ball and let it slip. He's a consummate professional. He's always done it the right way, and I just can't see anything but a relatively straightforward win for him.
Paul Smith believes the fight will follow a fairly predictable pattern. He respects Verhoeven's physical traits, but stresses that being a great boxer requires far more than size and punch power.
Wild, wasn't it? I think Rico's gonna have to boot him in leg or something. If he wants to get any sort of advantage over him, no one can beat Usyk in a boxing fight. I don't care who you are. No one on this place. He's the best heavyweight on this planet, and he's the best heavyweight of his era. If guys like Tyson Fury and Joshua can't put a dent in him, no one's going to be able to put a dent in him, I'm afraid. So Rico will have to throw a few leg kicks if he wants to get one over on him there. But again, Rico's a legend of kickboxing. Guys like that who have paved the way in kickboxing and have been the goats of their generation, they deserve to get these paydays and these sort of chances to showcase what they can do and just to promote themselves and to get some big money and stuff. So it'd be nice to see.
Former fighter Stacey Copeland expects Verhoeven's kickboxing background to create some early unpredictability, but she trusts Usyk's ring intelligence to eventually take full control. Liam Harrison adds that cross-discipline habits rarely translate perfectly, giving Usyk a clear advantage thanks to years of boxing-specific refinement.
He recognises the opportunity, and that's what this game is. It's opportunity. It's heavyweight boxing. The kid can whack. He's a big old lump, and he's going to go out there. He's trained for 6 months for this, believe it or not, under the watchful eye of Peter Fury. He's good with his hands anyway, and he gets that opportunity.
Spencer Oliver highlights how seriously Verhoeven is treating this opportunity. He believes Rico's camp work shows he's entering the ring better prepared than people assume, viewing this fight as a rare chance to make a mark in heavyweight boxing.
I think that he would probably be a bigger underdog than Dave Allen was against Hrgovic, that's for sure. It's a different discipline. Yeah, he's a big old lump.
He's an impressive figure, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an impressive figure, but he talks about size being a massive advantage for him, and when he lands that punch, none of the fighters before have been able to land that punch on Oleksandr Usyk, and when they have landed, there's been no effect.
Chris O'Leary, however, still sees Verhoeven as the underdog. While respecting his toughness and size, he notes that Usyk has repeatedly neutralized big punchers without taking major damage, something that doesn't bode well for Rico.
Usyk just recently announced his next opponent, Rico Verhoeven, I guess. I don't know much about the guy, but apparently he's a huge kickboxing star, kickboxing champion. I'm not sure if it's a fight that the Americans or the American entertainment value is going to really buy, but apparently he's a well-known name across the world in kickboxing. So we're going to see. I mean, it's hard for me to go against Usyk in this, man, just because Usyk is just a boxer. Maybe it's just a big PR money grab to afford the purse that Usyk is well-deserved, but I don't know. Of course, I got to go with Usyk right now. What y'all think? Let me know.
Henderson shifts focus to the business side, explaining that crossover events often struggle to capture mainstream attention in some regions, even when global audiences are intrigued by the involvement of elite names. When you strip it all down, this matchup becomes a collision between elite boxing mastery and heavyweight physical dominance. Usyk brings world-level skill, footwork, timing, and experience. Verhoeven brings size, raw power, and a championship mentality forged in kickboxing. Opinions may differ, but the central question remains. Can Verhoeven's physicality disrupt a more sophisticated boxing system? Or does Usyk's technical brilliance shut this down early? That concludes the breakdown. Now it's up to the fans to decide which path they believe this fight takes.